right, so Amy, this academy is where little ballerinas grow up to be big ballerinas.
Absolutely. It's the Houston Ballet Academy, I think, is so special for dancers. It's a beautiful training ground. They learn so much of what they need if they were to aspire to go on and have a ballet career. And even for people who just love movement, I think there's a place for everyone.
Yeah. And the fact of the matter is, just like with pro sports, most will not go on to be professional necessarily, but what you get out of a program like this for kids in particular, I think is priceless. What are some of the things that you've learned through dance that you see these kids learning as well?
Well, absolutely. It's something that you learn posture, and there's a beautiful discipline that goes along with the art form. Also, I think it's very important, let's say that they go on to a job interview, you learn how to carry yourself. There's grace and just a beauty that comes along with it.
Yeah, and I would imagine discipline, great discipline, right?
Absolutely. I think, you know, being responsible for what you do, how you present yourself, and learning the steps, it's exercises for your brain as well as your entire body. So it's really a lovely thing. I think the art form is very special.
All right, so I learned the Texas two-step, and it only took me like 5 minutes to learn that, right? but ballet is something that you study and you're constantly getting better at. So in the academy, you said, you know, techniques, what are we talking about?
Right, so it's the little minute details. It's not only learning how to stand with your legs turned out, if you will, but there is, you know, how the body stacks up, the hip, you know, over the knee, over the toes, and whatnot. So there's a lot of things that I think through the academy that the dancers are able to.
And it becomes a thing that you're, you know, here you have mirrors where they can see and look at
right,
that posture.
perfect.
But once you're dancing on stage, you have to know it's there.
Right, and there's something you use with your eye focus as well that's very important. A dancer can do a step, but when they use their eyes, and that's something that I know is instilled even in the academy, how your focus is. And that again helps you in everyday life, how you carry yourself.
You look on the stage and you see a lot of individuals. At the same time, they're working at a common goal. So there's that individual discipline and doing your best and for the overall goal.
And I will tell you, Swan Lake is the epitome of that because there's an endless infinity of swans, all working in perfect unison, headlines, angles of the body, and then you have the principals who fussed on other details. And the story is beautifully told. It is really magical.
Madison, I think a lot of kids, especially girls, will at first kind of play around with ballet and pretend that we're doing it right. And then there are those like you who decide that you really love it. What was it about ballet that you loved to the point where you want to be part of the company?
I just love getting on stage. I love performing, and to me that was just something to where it doesn't matter how many hours of hard work, how much sweat, how much pain you're in, but just the idea and the feeling of when you're on stage was just something that I never wanted to let go, which is why I want to do it professionally.
You suck it up and sparkle, right? All right, so you were in the academy, but then you've now been promoted to the company.
Yes.
What does that mean for folks outside of ballet?
It's the next step. In other words, it's what everybody hopes. You're a professional now, you're getting paid to do what you love, so it's a big and exciting step in my career, and it's the start of my career.
What's your goal?
My goal would eventually be to be a principal dancer with a major ballet company.
So Kellen.
You know, I think they have adult classes.
Oh, that might be good.
Yeah.
I think I want to take the adult classes. Let me say congratulations to you too. You also recently made the company. So go back to the very first time you ever put on ballet slippers and a tutu.
Well, the first time I ever put point shoes on was when I was 9 or 10 years old. And I remember my dance teacher told me, and when I found out, I just like almost started crying. I was so excited.
What did they tell you?
They allowed me to put on my first pair of point shoes.
Wow. Because that's a progression, right? You have to get there.
Because you have to start in flat shoes for as many years as they think your ankles get strong enough before you can put on point shoes so you don't hurt yourself.
What would you say to somebody who is thinking, okay, well I can do sports or I can do dance, maybe ballet. Why would ballet be a great choice?
Ballet, I think, challenges you physically, mentally, and socially in a way. Because physically, it's obvious you're dancing. Mentally, remembering steps, spacing, tempos, everything you can imagine. And then socially, when you're working in a corps, you have to talk with people and communicate with like how you'd move with them and like move so you can move as one in unison.
We put a lot of emphasis on STEM, and we get it, you know, the sciences, technology, all that type of stuff, and sometimes the arts kind of go by the wayside, but really it could be the thing that brings the child to school as well. How do you think something like ballet, and taking it as seriously, spills over into the other part of your education?
Well, it definitely disciplines you, so you have to like have a very strong work ethic. So if you're lazy, you probably won't go very far. Same thing with school, like you have to do your work to get good grades, you have to study to get good grades, you have to practice to have a good performance.
They complement each other. So what would be your fantasy role?
Oh man, there's so many. I think Juliet and Romeo and Juliet.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, again, congratulations
Thank you.
to being named to the company.